What's up, everybody? Got the new guitar here. Today we're gonna set it up. I don't think I have any new strings for it right now, but these strings look pretty good actually. So I'll probably just take this off and reuse it. I got this from Guitar Center a few days ago now, and a bunch of people have probably played it, so got to clean it off too. Right now the strings are pretty high. There you go, you can see that. And so we'll lower that, get it intonated, oil the fingerboard, just get to know this thing a little bit better. Alright, I'm gonna flip this down here and we'll get to work. See. What kind of string should I put on this thing, I wonder? I'm thinking 9s maybe. I kind of want to try 8s. I usually put 10s on. Move this out of the way. See how I can do this with my other hand. No luthiers not on this thing. That makes me happy. Yeah, this thing plays really well without even having a setup, so that's nice. I'm really excited to see how this plays when I set it up. So far in my book, Jackson is the budget guitar winner. This thing is even like strung really well from the factory. I'm assuming it's from the factory. I doubt Guitar Center put new strings on there. I guess it's possible. Even though I'm not putting on new strings today, I'm still going to go through the same process I normally go through when setting up a guitar. First step is cleaning. Just put those aside for right now. Yeah, this one actually has like a little dent in it, so they gave me a $15 discount. I guess that's worth it. I like to use this Virtuoso cleaner. This stuff works really well. Can get a little clogged up though, so gotta knock that out. It's not in too bad of shape, but there is a little bit of like smudges. I don't know, some kind of debris on here that I like to clean. I don't know how many people actually tried out this guitar at Guitar Center before I eventually bought it. Yeah, see, you can see like this towel starts to get black. That was on this guitar before we used this stuff. I'm good, James. How are you doing? So we'll get this thing really shiny. Let's see. Does this have plastic on it? No? Okay. That's looking pretty good. Alright, so this is a little weird on this one. See, I don't know. You can probably see it. There's like some like creasing in the back. You can see here and here, and like up here too. I don't know. It feels pretty smooth. I don't know if that's part of the wood or if that's the paint. I don't know. How does that happen? All right. I could put some more. Yeah, I guess I'll put just a little bit more here. Then we'll take this, just a little piece of plastic film. That's always satisfying, taking that off. This guitar is I think it's a JS22. This is a $200 Jackson model, and very impressed with this so far. Like, it's not set up really well just yet, but I think it already plays great. The strings are high, but it's enjoyable to play, and that's a really good sign. Yeah, see how dirty that is? This all came from this guitar. Yeah, people coming off the streets of New York to play. New York is filthy, so that gets transferred onto these guitars. What do you expect? You gotta clean it. Alright, let's open this thing. Let's open this up. Okay, so I am a fan of Yamaha. They're cheaper guitars. But I haven't played one in a little while, so I can't directly compare it. But compared to Squiers, I just had a Squier, and I played a couple other $200 Squiers at Guitar Center. This thing was like, it had like a something special about it, and that's hard to find in a $200 guitar. I did like the I think it was like a Squier Sonic for around 200 bucks. I thought that was a decent guitar, but no, it wasn't. The $300 Squiers, $350, those were good. Those felt good. But this thing for $200, this was the best one I found there. Let's see. This thing's really in there. Let me get some kind of blade. Right, I think I have. This one. No, need a blade. This is interesting. There's, zoom in here. This way. Okay. So here, I don't know if we can see this, but let's get this a little bit brighter. This way, okay. So there's like black overspray somehow. We're just going to take this off right now. Do you see this here? How does this happen? Sorry. Do they actually paint these? That's really interesting. Maybe that's why it's sealed in here. Let me see. I'm not a luthier. I guess I was a classical guitarist. I went to school for classical guitar and did that, but I also enjoyed, working on guitars and setting them up. So that's kind of how I got into this. We're gonna have to like force this thing off somehow. Maybe does this? All right, we're gonna leave this one. Sorry about that, everybody. But I wonder if we can kind of scrape off some of this. I'll just use my this stuff, my cleaner. I bet I can get it up with that. Yeah. I guess they have to save money somewhere. Yeah, okay, so learning setup. I mean, right now it's probably pretty easy to learn. If you go on YouTube, there's so many resources teaching you how to do it. But you just got to jump in first and then try to get advice from the best luthiers you can find around you. So I would start bringing in guitars to my local luthier. I would buy like beat up guitars from the pawn shop or wherever and bring it over there, get him to fix it, ask him a lot of questions. Because if you give him work and pay him, he's more likely to answer your questions. And you get some really good tips from the professionals. But yeah, now that was like, I mean, YouTube was definitely going on, but now there's so much info on YouTube that you can find, so I would check that out. But you just got to try it. Go get a cheap guitar, the cheapest one you can find, and take it all apart. I'm good, Birkin. Is this a 24 fret? That's a good question. Since it's called JS22, I have a feeling like it's probably 22 frets. This one should at least be easier to take off because I can stick something in here. Wow, look at that. Like, this really doesn't want to come out. So I'm going to run the blade through here just in case something is attached. That way it doesn't rip the finish. Yeah, but this has that same overspray issue. So I guess they put this plastic cover on and then they paint the cover. That's, I don't know. I don't know why they do that. But I'm gonna, oh, here we go, yeah. Look at this. Interesting stuff. My favorite thing is when I get a really like old used beat up guitar and then this plastic is still on there and you just get like a fresh piece. But this guitar was brand new except for all the times it was played at Guitar Center by people. Still satisfying. Yeah, but this plastic really doesn't want to come off. So because this has this like spray here, I feel like if I clean this, the paint's going to come off of here. I don't know, maybe this is some kind of conductive paint that they put around the side to try to seal it, the Faraday cage. It's possible. That would make sense. That would make a lot more sense. That must be what's going on here. That's the wrong way. This does not have a Floyd Rose. I played EMG passives. I thought they were pretty good. What's up, JC? Good to see you. As you can see, you were there yesterday when we were looking at guitars. We went with the Jackson. I am very pleased with this one so far. The strings are a little high, but it already feels great to play. I would say the neck on this guitar is probably, I don't know. I mean, I like the way it feels, but the like the material in the back, it feels very plywood-like. So this is not really very seated in here. Give me just a second. I'm going to turn it around. All right. I'll clean this part up a little bit later. So, yeah, this is a new guitar I just bought. Let's see. When you say heavy guitars, do you mean like the weight, or like for heavy metal kind of? All right, so this is the $200 JS22. Heavy as in weight. Okay, well, heavy. I mean, I guess find a Les Paul. Those are always, I find those to be pretty heavy usually. Yeah, the Jackson's very light, which I would prefer a lightweight guitar, because standing up for long periods of time with a heavy guitar is not fun. Not for me, at least. So if you're practicing for, you know, even an hour at a time, playing 3-hour gigs, this is a nice looking neck, though. It really looks like ebony. It's definitely not. Although who knows, I guess, right? Maybe it's some kind of ebony, but I doubt that. But it has a great look to it. Yeah. So far, this is the winner, the best $200 guitar I've played. So this stuff is called Dr. Duck's Axe Wax. It's some kind of proprietary blend of things that this person came up with a long time ago. This was a good luthier tip that I had gotten from my luthier a long time ago. He told me that like at the Gibson factory they would like soak their necks in this stuff. I didn't find any evidence showing that from Gibson, so I don't know how he heard that or if he really knew that. But I've stuck with it since because I've always enjoyed it. I'm sure lemon oil works really well. Everything feels really quality on this guitar. I don't know how they can even make money on this thing. I guess, like I said, like this neck, you see it's very plywood, a multi-ply plywood. Looks like it's at least two separate pieces. That's probably typical of Jacksons. Put some of the stuff on the back. I don't know, maybe if they stained it, it would look a little bit nicer. All right. So I think it's clean enough now. Tuners are nice. Have a good night. I appreciate it. I thought the tuners were really good on this thing. While we're here, let's just take off this cover. I guess I need a smaller screwdriver for this. Maybe bigger than that. I'll be right back. I've got a screwdriver over here in my auxiliary workbench. Here we go. Y'all can still hear me, even though I'm not on camera. Let's see if this one will do the trick. Yeah. These look so easy to strip out. Oh, sorry, I think I might have been blocked on this. All right. Sorry, I don't want to strip these screws. Maybe I need a flathead. Let's see if I can find one that's going to work. No, these are too big. Let me see. These are already poking out. I guess it's okay. Just have to apply some extra pressure. Wow. I've never seen a truss rod cover screw like this. So, very long. And pretty small, scary stuff there. Scary stuff. I don't understand why you need a screw this long in the truss rod cover. I guess it's okay, but like, really, why? They are cool looking screws. I like the hardware, but I just don't understand why they'd need to be this long. Maybe when I take this truss rod cover off, I'll understand. Here we go. Looks like a normal truss rod slot. Let's get this. Let's see. Is that just a regular Allen wrench hex key? All right, we're going to leave this off for now in case we need to make some adjustments there. All right, time to put the strings back on. Got this mess of strings now. I'm going to try to bend this back a little bit. No, I don't know what these are. I feel like these are probably 9s, and I didn't get new strings yet, which was probably a dumb choice. I should have gotten them. But I wanted to ask what people thought I should put on here. 8s, 9s, 10s. What's the most common 6-string metal guitar setup? What kind of string gauge? I'm a little out of my comfort zone. Even though I really like this guitar, I know it's typically more of a metal guitar. I feel like 9s and 10s will both be good. These tuners really feel good. This is a non-Jackson player reacting to a Jackson for the first time, basically. I'm extremely impressed. If this is how good their $200 guitar sounds, does that mean their like $2,000 guitar sounds that much better? 10 times the perceived value? All right. $910 Diodario XL. Nice. What material is Diodario XL? Is that... I can't remember. Are XLs just like the standard? I'm a big fan of Diodario strings. Great classical strings. Can't go wrong with your electric strings either. All right. You know, I made a video about like changing guitar strings, and I told everybody how I pre-cut, and somehow pre-cutting, like the point of the first video I made was about the luthier's knot, and I really don't like the luthier's knot, and I don't think that it's really doing anything, but that's just my opinion. I haven't tested it out for sure. Anecdotally, taking off strings that somebody previously put the luthier's knot in, especially if those strings have been on the guitar for like years, it's just kind of a pain to take those strings off. So that would be where most of my frustration comes from with the luthier's knot. But anyway, about the pre-cutting, that seemed to be like a very controversial thing that I wasn't expecting. And I think the kind of funny thing about the pre-cutting is, yeah, obviously you don't want to cut too short, but if you cut with enough string and it slips out, you can always try it again. Just bend it back. But I mean, put your strings on however you want. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it might matter, but I have a feeling like if you're not in tune, the way you put your strings on is probably not your problem. That would be my guess. Are you a beginner guitarist, Barbara? They sell different sizes for like, depending on like how thick the thickness of the string. So some people prefer lighter strings, some people prefer heavier strings. Typically the heavier the strings are, it can be a little bit more difficult to play, but it's kind of relative as well to how you have the guitar set up. Because if you have heavy strings with like a really easy to play setup, let's just call it an easy to play, that would probably feel a lot more comfortable to play than very light strings on a, let's say, bad setup. So there's a lot of relative things that you have to consider. that's nice. Hello, Lisa Music. Oh, very nice. I'm really a big fan of this guitar. I just got it 3 days ago. I maybe have a couple hours of playing on it so far. Not too much. And right now the strings are pretty high, but it still feels great to play. So I can't wait in just a minute when I put these back on here to really get this thing set up and sounding good, feeling good. If it feels good, it's going to sound good for the most part. At least it's going to sound better because you'll be able to play better. There's also something to the intonation making it sound better, I think. But I heard an interesting thing today. I was listening to a classical guitarist. His name is Frederick Hand. And if any of you know about modern classical guitars, there's been a big push to make them sound louder. You know, people really want loud. And part of that loudness comes from like the perception of overtones. So, you know, the overtones tend to make guitars ring out longer and sound louder. And this guitarist was talking about how he really didn't like that sound. So whenever you have this guitar perfectly intonated, not only will all the strings, you know, up and down the neck, all the frets up and down the neck sound more in tune, but also you'll have more of the sympathetic resonance going on. I tend to like that sound, but I guess I can see how some of the older classical players might miss the older kind of popular sound that wasn't so ringing out. All right, 2 strings to go. JC, I won't say no more Squires, but definitely no more $100 Squires, unless they're used. I'm totally fine getting a very nice $100 used Squire. Let's see, what was that one that I saw? It was like $350 for the Squire, and they had a Jaguar and a Jazzmaster, both about the same price. Those seem like nice guitars, so I wouldn't have minded getting one of those, but I would try to stick to my $250 and under budget, and that's how I ended up with this one. But I'm very happy I did. I mean, I think this is a better guitar than most of the Squires that I saw, or probably. I mean, the nicest one was that $350 one, and although it was pretty nice, I think I'm happier with this Jackson. Oh, I really am a big fan of ESP guitars. Like I like the Viper series. Um, those are great. I don't know, how did I miss those? I didn't see any Vipers for in my price range, my under 250. But I thought they used to have those. I don't think I did a great job looking when I was at Guitar Center. Is there a Schecter, JC, that's under 250, 250 and under? Oh yeah, you're right. LTD is the budget. Yeah, that's right. But are there LTDs under 250? Because I would have liked to try out one of those. I think those are solid, cheap guitars. This is a weird thing, you know, because this headstock goes like this, the string naturally wants to come this way, pull at this angle. I wonder if there's something to that angle that's supposed to like help sustain or something. But I keep forgetting that when I'm tightening these. But that's cool. I like that. I think I've got to get an arch top or at least a semi hollow body soon. I haven't gotten one of those yet. I started to play what was that, it was an Epiphone 335 maybe, is that the number? And I liked the way it felt. Oh, but you know what? The Rickenbacker that I played. That's what I want to get, the Rickenbacker 330. It's not an arch top. I think I had like a Harmony arch top once. That was a pretty cool guitar. I see a lot of them over here on Facebook Marketplace. There's so many guitars in New York. Eventually, I'm going to go buy like 5 guitars a week and try to set them up and review them if I can. I don't know, what do y'all think about reviewing used guitars? Is that like unfair? Because they're really dependent on like whether they were taken care of or how well they're set up. Although I would argue it's the same exact way with a new one, because you really don't know. If the guitar was set up by the factory, I mean, I guess like that's really nice, and that's great that the factory spends that amount of time setting up their guitars, but that's not a given. And I would also say that that's not really the best factor on, like, it's hard to judge a guitar straight, let's just call it, say, off the Guitar Center showroom floor, because we don't know if it's been set up. It probably hasn't. And if it hasn't been set up, even if it's brand new, it's probably not going to sound great. Like this guitar wasn't set up. But somehow it's still like it wasn't too hard to play. But I played a lot of guitars, like it didn't matter the price even. I played like a $1,500 Strat that felt terrible. One time at Guitar Center I played like a $3,000 like custom shop and it felt terrible. And like the problem is it's not the guitar, it's just that it wasn't set up. Which is kind of crazy to me that you can go try out a $3,000 guitar in that kind of condition. All right, so what should I put on this thing? 10s? 9s? Should I try 8s? All right, so we got the strings on here. Let's plug it in, give y'all some audio while I tune it up. Be able to hear this. Okay, let me know if this is like way too loud. Because I can't hear what's going on. I'll try to turn it down just in case. Let me go get my headphones. I'm worried that I'm like really killing y'all with bad sounding guitar. I need to monitor this, make sure y'all are okay. You're gonna buy a guitar from me? Okay. I don't have any guitars for sale though, so if I have one though, I guess I'll let you know. All right, let me change this for a second. And I'm gonna put this guitar on. Oh, that's another thing I really like about this. These, let's see. These strap buttons, they're like extra wide, and that really helps because my straps are all messed up, and this way they don't, you know, fall. Because my guitars are always falling off. All right, here we go. volume just too low? Okay, yeah, there we go. You know, at Guitar Center, they do have like 1,000 guitars. So I guess it would take a lot of time to set all of those guitars up. This wanted to pop out. I will probably break a string. I can feel it. I'm sorry for that sound. Listen. Alright, we gotta, did it pop? No? Okay, it must be stuck. Okay. It didn't break, but it came out of the tuner. That's annoying. And this is why I say you should always use a luthier's knot. But while this is down here, we'll adjust the saddle pieces to lower that. Yeah, this is interesting, doing a restringing while plugged into the amp. This is the sound of restringing a guitar. There we go. All right. That's pretty cool. You can play Jackson's up here. Nice. Okay. Hopefully that'll stay in tune now. I feel like I need a lot more winding. Oh, that's cool. All right, so the first thing we'll do is adjust these saddle pieces. I need to check and see how straight this neck is too, though. Let's see. Oh yeah, it could be tightened a little bit. All right. So we'll loosen it a little bit first. Okay, that feels good. Yeah, the Squire. Eventually I'll have enough other guitars to stop comparing everything to the Squire. But the Squire's truss rod felt pretty bad. This one feels good. Slight turn here. Let's take this out. All right, now we're going to try lowering these a little bit. I'm going to guess that it uses the same. Oh, this is not. These aren't the right ones. I need the metric. Or Jackson. I think this guitar is made in China. So China uses metric, but let's see. Yeah, we need metric. Maybe, I guess everybody uses metric for these. Thanks, JC. I'm liking it so far. I think it's going to be a good one. All right. Let's just go ahead and lower these, probably too low, and raise them from there. Right now they're all set pretty high. That's interesting though, the E has a different size screw. That's a good idea. Just kind of lowering these all to the same height right now. People typically like to put these like radiused with the fretboard. But I got to see what I can get away with for string height. To metal, like metal players typically like really low string height. I mean, it seems like most people prefer low string height. I know on acoustic instruments, sometimes you want to dig in, and you can, you can use a higher string height, and it kind of makes sense. But I'm not sure that that ever really works on with electric guitars. Let's see how this thing plays now. We're going to go back and forth. Low string height. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Good one. So definitely E is too low. This one's kind of at the brink of lowness. A is too low. D is probably too low. It's a little low. Oh, yeah. B is feeling incredible. But we should get it up to pitch before we know for sure. Sometimes it's too low when you're a whole step or half step down, but at pitch, at standard tuning, it's just right. I have a feeling that the neck is not perfectly straight either just yet. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. We gotta tighten the truss rod a little bit more. Let's go ahead and pull this one up just a little bit. I'm going to call this preliminary setup. You can't really see what I'm doing. Okay. Just raising that a bit. Almost, yeah. All right, well that's still a little low in some spots. I barely have to touch the guitar. must be nines. I was working on this a little bit yesterday. All right. I like to really play it for a while before I make any like final final big moves, or sometimes these things really take some time to settle in. All right. I'll quit kind of noodling around here, because I have to do this for a little while. All right, I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around for the initial Jackson JS22 setup. I look forward to really playing this thing a lot. I think I'm going to learn this Mr. Crowley. When I did my live stream the other day and I was playing some Mr. Crowley, it got blocked apparently. So we'll see if that one goes through. But anyway, I appreciate all of you sticking around. Talk to everybody soon. Have a good rest of your day. Later.